to be successful, they go out and they do their job, and in Florida they do it well. So we're blessed to have great sheriffs, great local police, great state law enforcement. Here in Florida, we enforce the law, we prosecute to the fullest, and we've got record crime lows as a result. It's not that well, today we're here to talk about organized retail theft and the state's efforts to combat it. It's been a priority for our law enforcement and the Office of Attorney General for several years now, working with the Retail Federation, but we're going to kick it up and do an even higher notch today. So today I'm joined by our statewide prosecutor, Brad McVay, Sheriff Waters, Chief Assistant Statewide Prosecutor Jonathan Bridges, that's going to be spearheading this organized retail theft task force initiative, Scott Shalley, President and CEO of the Retail Federation, and we have the store manager from this Home Depot store, Michael Treboni. Thank you for welcoming us here. Since I took the oath of office in February, we've had over 50 convictions for criminals in retail theft. We just took down 2 massive retail theft rings, one that involved Home Depot, 7 arrests from a coordinated effort to steal products from Home Depot stores. We were happy to take down that operation. We also brought serious charges. A guy's going to be doing a lot of time down in Palm Beach County who stole large amounts of baby formula, ultimately leading to prices of baby formula going up for new moms. A time when moms need all the help they can get. So thanks to the legislature and our governor, we've had rising penalties, higher penalties for retail theft crimes. We've been able to get more tools for law enforcement and our prosecutors to work together, put these cases together, and put bad guys away for a very long time. We're not going to just sit by on our hands and watch our stores turn into what you see in New York and San Francisco, where you've got plexiglass. You know, you got to go unlock plexiglass just to get some toothpaste at a CVS. We're not going to do that. We're not doing that. We're handing out long-term sentences to the slammer. We're going to put people away for a long time. We're going to send a message here in Florida. If you engage in crime, you are absolutely going to pay for it for a very long time. Today we're going to sign a memorandum of understanding between law enforcement and the Retail Federation that further commits ourselves to working together in partnership, our investigators, our private partners, law enforcement, to better crack down on these crimes. People that engage in this behavior are pretty smart. They find ways to commit crimes in different jurisdictions so that there are jurisdictional boundaries that make it more difficult for investigators to work together to put evidence together and ultimately bring cases. We're going to use our authority in the Office of Statewide Prosecution to bridge the gap. We've got the ability to work jurisdictional by jurisdictional basis, working together with the Retail Federation and investigators. We're going to cut red tape, streamline the process, and make it a lot easier to secure long-term convictions. So I stand by our law enforcement. Again, we're blessed to have the best law enforcement in the country. We're going to crack down on retail theft. We're not going to do the plexiglass. We're going to put bad guys away and send a message loud and clear, not in Florida. So with that, I'll turn it over to our statewide prosecutor, Brad McVay.
Thank you, General, and thank you, Home Depot. Beautiful store. Thanks for hosting us this AM. Today I'm proud to stand here with the Attorney General, our law enforcement partners, our loss prevention partners, to announce the launch of the new Organized Retail Theft Task Force. This task force will form a dedicated team that will aggressively investigate, prosecute, and dismantle criminal networks responsible for large-scale theft. Organized retail theft crime is not just shoplifting. Oftentimes, these are sophisticated criminal enterprises that steal millions of dollars from our businesses. They fuel drug trafficking, they endanger employees of the businesses, and they endanger customers. They ultimately result in higher prices for Floridians. And so since February, when the Attorney General started, this has been one of his priorities, and it continues to be. Since February, we've seen 52 convictions for organized retail theft. We have 185 targets under investigation currently in our office. We have 54 cases that have been filed with 84 defendants charged and 36 currently still being investigated in those cases. These crimes are increasingly bold. We see coordinated teams, smash and grab. We see flash mobs and even violence. We recently secured a decades-long prison sentence in Broward County on a two-defendant ring that involved thefts from Ultra Beauty stores. One of the defendants had 36 separate thefts. The other had 30. Two of those incidents involved violence against the workers in the store. And $220,000 in merchandise was ultimately stolen. We've seen the illegal immigration play a factor in this. We have in Tampa right now close to a dozen different illegal immigrants that have been either under investigation or have been charged with being part of an organized retail theft ring. So what you often see in terms of themes of these cases, dozens of thefts. It's multi-jurisdictional. You see targeted products, usually luxury goods or targeted retailers such as Home Depot, Walmart. We're seeing immigration play a role. And we have cases where goods are actually being shipped back to other countries. So stolen goods and then being shipped back to the country such as China, Venezuela, name a few in some of our cases. We see a lot of the defendants have long criminal histories. That's one of the things we notice that's probably most frequent is that there's small-time sentences that are being handed out where it's a slap on the wrist, and this equates to the cost of doing business. So what we're going to look for is strong sentencing, prison for these cases, and to try to get as much restitution as we can. With respect to the task force, we're going to assign 6 prosecutors that will be working hand in hand with law enforcement to ensure continuity, expertise, and maximum impact. We will look to expand our law enforcement partnerships with local sheriffs, police departments, and state police. And we're going to focus on the worst offenders. We're going to look for long-term prison sentences and make sure that we dismantle the organizations at the head. Thank you again to the Attorney General and to our partners in law enforcement and retail for being part of this today. I think this sends a clear message to thieves in Florida that organized retail theft will not be tolerated. Thank you.
Yeah, I think he raises a good point. These are not victimless crimes. It's easy to think of retail theft in that way, but no, you suffer. You suffer at the checkout line. Prices go up when companies have to make up for the loss of stolen goods, when they have to make up for the added expense, more resources that have to go towards security and investigations. So you suffer, and that's why we've got to hold these bad guys accountable. Nobody does that better than Sheriff Waters.
Good morning. So I'm honored to support the launch of the statewide investigative retail task force. I want to thank Attorney General Uthmeier for his leadership on this important issue. In building out this statewide task force, the Attorney General's office empowers local law enforcement agencies to work collaboratively with partner agencies and prosecutors to ensure that organized retail theft schemes are investigated under the umbrella rather than piecemealed into individual theft investigations. By building cases that group related retail thefts into organized criminal schemes, investigators can arrest thieves for more serious charges and prosecutors can seek tougher sentences. This is a win for both the Jacksonville business owner and the consumer. As we head into the holidays, Jacksonville citizens will be shopping for their loved ones. These law-abiding citizens deserve a holiday shopping experience that's free of the burdens imposed upon them by thieves. There's nothing worse than a thief, in my opinion. We don't want all consumer goods in lock boxes and on store shelves, which has become a reality in some American cities, but not in Jacksonville, Florida, and not in Florida statewide. Here in Jacksonville, the rule of law, not the criminals, dictate the consumer and business owner experience. The Jacksonville Sheriff's Office has its own dedicated retail theft task force, and our investigators will continue to put full effort and resources into ensuring that thieves will be held accountable for their crimes. Jacksonville is a law and order town, and we will not allow thieves to short our businesses and render the holiday shopping experience one controlled by the criminal element rather than the law-abiding consumer. The launch of this task force, which we are excited about joining, reinforces that Florida stands tall as a law and order state. This state and our leadership prioritize protecting law-abiding citizens and promoting a fertile business culture. Organized retail thieves should take their scheme to another state because this is not the state nor the city to do this stuff in. Our leadership, our law enforcement agencies, and our prosecutors stand together to ensure that they receive the highest possible sanctions available under the law. Once again, thank you to the General. Thank you for allowing me to be here. Looking forward to it.
All right, and Chief Assistant Statewide Prosecutor Jonathan Bridges.
Good morning. My name is Jonathan Bridges. I'm a Chief Assistant Statewide Prosecutor with the Attorney General's Office of Statewide Prosecution. I've been with this agency about 10 years, and during that time, I have seen a dramatic uptick in what we call organized retail crime. What we've seen in our cases, in our investigations that we work with on law enforcement, in our cases we prosecute in court, is that groups of individuals working together to commit retail crimes, some people call them boosters, we can just call them thieves. They treat shoplifting like a job. We've seen cases where they get up in the morning and travel from their home and hit retail stores where they steal consumer goods in multiple counties, in multiple regions and parts of the state. And instead of making an honest living so they can go purchase goods like the rest of us, they walk out with shopping carts full of stolen merchandise. They're the reason why you might go into a store and see items like deodorant or mouthwash being kept under lock and key. And for years, these thieves believed that they could escape serious criminal penalties by traveling to those different parts of the state, different counties and jurisdictions, hoping that they would only receive a slap on the wrist from each county, from each jurisdiction. They became more brazen. We've seen cases where repeat offenders walk in and out of retail stores stealing at will, like they own the place. We've seen cases where they become violent when retail employees try to stop them or try to restrain them. But the people spoke and the legislature listened. Florida Statute 812-015 is the organized retail theft statute. It provides retailers, law enforcement, and prosecutors with a powerful tool in the fight against these thieves. What before might have resulted in a slap in the wrist is now an offense that's punishable by significant prison time. Thanks to folks like Attorney General Uthmeier, Sheriff Waters, and Retail Federation President Scott Shalley, leading from the front, we're setting the standard for a robust, aggressive law enforcement response to the threat posed by organized retail crime. The Attorney General's office has designated specific assistant statewide prosecutors throughout the state to handle these prosecutions, to handle large-scale organized retail crime cases, and our results speak for themselves. You've already heard a little bit about that this morning. Business owners and their employees have the right to feel safe and secure when they go to work every day, especially as we enter the holiday season and the busiest retail time of the year. That's why we'll continue coordinating our efforts with our retailers, with the Florida Retailers Federation, with local law enforcement, and with our state attorney partners to make sure that we bring charges that stick in cases that carry serious criminal penalties and serious prison time. Communication is key in this fight, and the members of this task force are extremely skilled at sharing information and acting on it in real time. Thank you to Attorney General Uthmeier, to Sheriff Waters, and to Scott Shalley for being here today, and thank you to our retail loss prevention officers. You guys are out there pulling long hours, doing the tough work of identifying these criminals, and presenting your findings to law enforcement. We appreciate you. We appreciate your hard work and dedication, and we look forward to our continued partnership. Florida is open for business, and we plan to keep it that way. Thank you.
All right, Scott.
Well, let me lead off with a little bit of good news. We live in the state of Florida, and while we do have a problem, we don't have a problem like a lot of states do, and we don't have that problem because of leaders like the Attorney General, the Sheriff, the loss prevention professionals that work in this industry, and the proactive approach that we've taken with the support of the governor and the Florida legislature to give prosecutors the tools that they need to crack down on this problem. Now, having said that, there is a troubling trend out there. We're seeing, there's a lot of debates about retail crime statistics. There's no debate that this has gotten more brazen and more violent, as the previous speakers have spoken to. Our retailers are very much committed to engaging in this fight. No retailer out there wants to lock up a product. We want the shopping experience to be friendly, enjoyable, and safe. But we need help. And we've gotten that help in Florida, and the sign today is that we're even getting more help. And we're very, very grateful for that. Our retailers are spending millions in terms of trying to protect their associates and protect the consumer. And we look forward to this partnership and can't thank these folks enough. So thank you.
All right, last but not least, Michael Treboni from Home Depot. Home Depot's been a great partner, not just in this, but I think we're now at the end of hurricane season, and every time there's a storm, they go above and beyond to make sure our state has what it needs to recover and rescue and do what needs to be done in challenging times. So thank you for having us here.
Great. Thank you. Good morning. First of all, I'm very blessed and grateful to represent over 500,000 aprons that are here today in support of the message that we're speaking of today. Organized retail theft has caused not only things to happen to our top line, but also the safety of our customers and our associates. We're not only combating that, and we want to combat that, but we have to think, what can we do when it threatens the safety of our associates? What can we do when it threatens the safety of our customers? I have spent over 30 years serving this noble profession. I started as a struggling college student. I had to work 3 jobs in retail. I'm proud of retail, and I'm proud of Home Depot. In the last 10 years, I've seen what organized theft does. And they can cause harm and safety to our associates. My job is to protect them and to protect our customers. I could not be more proud to stand next to an Attorney General and a Sheriff that I have known personally and professionally, and to see what they have done. I've researched. By the way, my friend here to the next to me introduced himself as, "Hi, I'm James. I'm from the Deep South." That means he's a good man, all right? So thank you so much for doing that. And the JSO has protected us greatly and has made us very proud to be here in Oakleaf. I do want to say dismantling retail crime and holding offenders accountable is critical to everyone's safety. We're proud to be a part of the solution. And just as you look around and see all of these aprons, we stand together not only in the greatest state, but also with the greatest Attorney General. Thank you for letting us share.
Thank you. Well, as we're going into the holiday season, I know people are going to be taking some time off and doing a little more shopping. Rest assured, law enforcement never takes a day off. So we will be there. We will keep our state safe, strong, free, and most importantly, open for business for our families to make sure everybody has a good time. So with that, I guess we can sign our agreement here. Again, we're committed to more resources, removing red tape, streamlining process, ensuring that our investigators and prosecutors can help jurisdiction by jurisdiction to work together and get bad guys locked up for a long time. We got time for a couple questions if anybody has any.
I can tell you typically when it comes to these step rings, they're adults, usually in their 30s. They're always adults. They're always come in groups, and they practice this stuff across the county and across the state. Yeah, we'll talk about that after this. I'll talk to you on the sidebar. This is about retail theft.
Okay. Well, comment for you, Attorney General. Is the state of Florida looking at doing anything to try to block the plan for
I just got briefed on that this morning. I know the governor's had a statement, as well as some of our state leaders. So again, not my area of expertise right now. We're focused on retail theft, but I know in Florida we protect our natural resources. It's been a commitment of the state, and I don't see our state leaders wanting to change their views. Sure.
Yep.
What about first-time offenders or teenagers? Can they expect to see a harsher level of punishment?
I believe so, and that's an answer for the Attorney General, but I believe so. That would be my hope.
Can you say that one more time?
It's for teenagers or first-time offenders. Can they expect to see a harsher punishment?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm a big believer in prosecuting to the fullest. I think where we've seen lenient sentences, light bail terms in other states, it's ended in disaster. The situation on the train in North Carolina, that individual had been released 14 different times. We did Polk County, we did a big child predator sting back a couple months ago and had over 250 arrests, but the combined prior offenses was over 700. So it just shows when people are let out, they reoffend. So we're going to lock people up for a long time. I think it sends a good message to everybody else out there. Don't do it. So thank you, everybody.